And welcome back to Studio 43 and the NFL Today update. I'm James Brown along with Phil, Nate, and Boomer. Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader with Dak Prescott and the first-place Dallas Cowboys taking on Bill Belichick's Patriots. And 2 AFC West rivals hoping to avoid a third straight L. That's when the Broncos host the Raiders. That's coming up next right here on CBS. And you can see it was a Kansas City win over Washington, 31-13. Patrick Mahomes, 397 yards, passing, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, but he drives them to that victory. They improve to 4-3, make that 3-3. So after the game, it was our Evan Washburn talking with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Patrick, this game specific to the Chiefs had a much different tone at halftime. What flipped in that locker room that led to this type of win?
I think guys just dug down deep, man. We battled with adversity all year long, and that first half was exactly the same way. So we really just had to dig down deep, and guys came out and responded in that second half.
The score's one thing, but do you feel like this offense made significant improvements in the areas that you wanted to going into this game?
Yeah, I think it was, we just stopped pressing. We stopped trying to do so much. If teams are going to play us deep, we got to throw it underneath. And we know that, and we want to stay attacking and doing stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we got to trust in our defense. We got to trust in running the football and play like we did in that second half and just play tight and play gritty.
Lastly, how do you fight frustration in game when it's obvious that it's there?
I think I have the support from everybody. I mean, on the whole team, no one doubted me. I did that dumb interception that I fumbled and then threw an interception, and everybody just came back and says, you be you. You keep doing what you're doing. We believe in you, and I think you have guys like that, you can be great.
I appreciate the time, Patrick. See you in Nashville.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what? I flat out love his candor about that dumb pick. Yeah. Back here with Boomer, Nate, and Phil Simms. And as you can see, Bill Cowher's not here. As a matter of fact, he's heading to Pittsburgh to do what, Boomer?
To get his Hall of Fame ring tonight at halftime between the game between Pittsburgh and Seattle. So looking forward to that. Congratulations, Coach. And by the way, you know, I do love Patrick Mahomes and what he said there. The second half was more what he has been since he's been a pro. He settled down. He didn't throw the interceptions. He was 19 of 25 for about 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's the Patrick Mahomes that we've all come to respect and admire as a player. And he just told you in his own words that I got to stop doing the stupid stuff and forcing the issue and just play the game what is given to me. And that's exactly the way he played in the second half.
Yeah, this is the Patrick Mahomes experience. You know, oftentimes we've seen them fall behind or those guys make mistakes and then they'll just turn it on. And that's what they did in this game. I mean, they ended up with almost 400 yards passing. Even though he threw 2 interceptions, we're used to these guys making these types of comebacks. In Washington, they were in this from the very beginning. Grabbed that lead, and shout out to Taylor Heineke. He fights every single week. Got to give a shout out to Jody Fortson. He was also a little banged up. I think he was carted off. We don't know what the injury was, but he was having himself a game, so hopefully he's okay.
Well, I could really relate to what Patrick Mahomes was saying after the game to Evan Washburn, whose hair really looked great, is stupid interceptions. You know, we all been there. You know, if you're playing quarterback, it's not a game of perfection. You're going to make mistakes. But let's think about Kansas City. 499 yards on offense today. That answers a few questions. They move the ball well, but also their defense. I know the Washington football team's offense is not the #1 ranked in the NFL, but they held them to under 300 yards. And Taylor Heineke has been running around making plays against everybody. Today, they stopped that.
Looking impressive. You know what? Since you're sounding so good, why don't you get right to the highlights? Let's hear
to the highlights? Well, let's go, Sims. You're up. Chargers at the Ravens. Baltimore's Latavius Murray goes 14 yards. Untouched up the middle for the touchdown. Put them up 7-0, the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, how about this? Just fires across the middle for the 9-yard touchdown pass to Mark Andrews. 24-6 Baltimore at the time. They end up winning 34-6.
All right, let's go, Burleson. You're up. Kansas City Chiefs, the Washington football team. And there's Chase Young paying homage to the late Sean Taylor with his face mask. Shout out to Sean Taylor, one of the best to ever do it. Rest in peace. But here it is, KC doing it on the ground. How about Darrell Williams? He takes it in for a 3-yard touchdown. Patrick Mahomes dropping back. And who is he going to hit? DeMarcus Robinson. This was late in the game, pretty much putting the victory on ice. They would win this one 31-13.
All right, boom, you're up now. Good job. Hey, how about the Bengals? They're 4-2. Joe Burrow today, 19 of 29, 271 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Guess who the Bengals have next week, boys? Who? They're at the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson should be a wild AFC North showdown. All right, now you got the Packers at the Bears. Aaron Rodgers happens to be 10-1 in his last 11 games at Soldier Field. All he did today was throw 2 touchdown passes and won this one in as well. 17 of 23, 195 yards, 2 TDs. Justin Fields struggled a little bit in this game, but that was expected.
Vikings and the Panthers, this one is still going on. And it looks like Dalvin Cook is still running strong. Ooh, check out that run right there. As Kyle Brandt would say, an angry run. They are up 28-20, 2 minutes left in the game. Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz has found his rhythm, but Jonathan Taylor was cooking in this one. That one was a 4-yard touchdown. And here it is, right at the gut. He breaks it left for an 11-yard TD. Taylor, 14 rushes, a $145 and 2 TDs.
All right, today, earlier in London, how about this? 5 seconds left in the game on the 4th today. Trevor Lawrence completes it to LaVisca Chenault for 9 yards, first down, called, quick timeout. 53-yard field goal by Matthew Wright is good. Jacksonville gets their first win of the season. Brian Flores not happy with the Miami Dolphins. And, of course, Urban Meyer gets his first win as an NFL head coach, albeit over in London.
Okay, take them any way you can get them.
Absolutely.
The Rams at the Giants. Matthew Stafford, 13-yard TD pass to Cooper Kupp. Kupp's second touchdown of the day. The Rams end up winning 38-11. Wow, over the Giants.
You know what I'm struck by with today is the blowouts in the first hour of games. You know, the first couple hours of games here. There were 6 blowouts. The home teams did really well.
Yeah.
You know, and when I take a look at the Green Bay Packers going against that tough Chicago defense in Soldier Field and coming away with a convincing win, that's exactly what you have, you know, what you have to do when you have a Hall of Fame type quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, who, again, just methodically leads his team to victory.
Yeah, he loses one of his offensive linemen early in the game, and they were getting after him. I mean, they were putting bodies on Aaron Rodgers, and I know how tough it is to play in Chicago this time of year in that NFC North, which we used to call it the black and blue division. The game isn't as physical as it used to be, but still, playing in Chicago, you always get beat up, and they came out with a good win.
Chicago's rough and tough, and I'll tell you, Green Bay matched that today. You know, we always think of Green Bay as a finesse team, but they show they can slug it out with the best of them, and Chicago, like I said, is big. But, you know, I got to go back to the Baltimore Ravens. That, you know, they're kind of catching fire. I know they had that great comeback against Indianapolis, but the way they methodically beat a good Chargers team today, Lamar's going, the confidence is going, and the defense today, I thought they would really struggle against the Chargers. They did not. So,
and here I thought the formula, which was half right, but you expanded on that. I said I thought the ground attack and clear to the defense was getting it done in Baltimore, but you said in response,
well, I forgot, they're doing it all.
That's exactly
they can do it all. And they're as versatile, and that's like when they play the Chargers, it's a terrible matchup for the Chargers.
Yeah.
They got teams that they will not match up well against, but you cannot say that really about the Ravens. They match up against anybody, anywhere, because of the style of play. It's so diverse.
We have an excellent late window matchup. Let me turn to Boom and talk about Dak in Foxborough.
All right, you know what? Tom Brady went into New England, only put up 19 points. They won the game. He did not throw a touchdown pass. Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level. Phil Simms said it in the pregame show. I can't believe I'm giving them credit. They have a Super Bowl offense. Let's see if they can pull it off today.
Speaking of Super Bowls, the Patriots have plenty of them, but Mac Jones, he doesn't have one. Mac Jones leads all rookies with his completion percentage at 71.1. Here's the thing, Mac Jones, don't throw it towards Trayvon Diggs, I'm sorry.
Boomer has to wash his mouth out when he gives me a compliment, but Ezekiel Elliott, boy, is he back in shape and running like we've never. It's like watching Emmitt Smith and the Cowboys of old. When you watch Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, they're piling it up in there. And the offensive line's really playing well.
One of the best off-season acquisitions this year had to be Matt Judon from the Ravens, signing as a free agent. He's second in the league in sacks right now. He's a difference maker for that New England Patriots defense.
Oh, difference maker. How about CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb is an absolute beast. A great compliment to Amari Cooper, but he really is shining in his own right going into his second year. You can see the maturity in this young man, in his route running, in his ability to go up and get the ball when it's in the air.
Trayvon Diggs, Mac Jones, high alert, red alert. Be careful.
Avoid at all costs.
Yes, because you know what he is? He's that cornerback who's not afraid to take chances, watches the receiver and the quarterback at the same time.
Yep.
One of the reasons why he has 6 interceptions.
All right, how about the Raiders at the Broncos? There's Rich Bisaccia. He was named interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders as he leads his Raiders into Denver today against a very stingy Denver defense.
And there's Derek Carr. Derek Carr said this week it was tough to focus on football, but being the leader of his team, he's going to have to get his guys right because winning does help and they need a little bit of help out there in Vegas.
There's Teddy Bridgewater, been a really good quarterback. I think he's played the position very well this year, being careful. Last week, it was a slow week for him against Pittsburgh, but they just methodically hung in there, and what do you know, they had a chance to win it at the end.
All right, Henry Ruggs III, the wide receiver for the Raiders. Got to see if Greg Olsen, the offense coordinator of the Raiders, can get him involved early and deep. He has got the speed to go on the top, over the top of most defenses.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton last year had an ACL. He missed the season, but he is back. Check it out, 2 games with a $120 receiving yards, and one of those was last week.
There's Von Miller, number 58. If you're the right tackle for the Raiders, be alert. Crowd noise, get a good start, all those things. This is where the Raiders got to give the right tackle some help. I think that's where they're most dangerous when you got.
So let me just compliment one of our guys. I mean, Phil continues to improve and, expand.
Yeah.
Normally, he was always doing what?
He was always asking himself questions.
But
now,
today
he's encouraging himself. Let's go, Phil.
He said he's up. Hey, and speaking of what's up next, these games we just got finished previewing. We'll see you back at halftime.